In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to scale your business through YouTube long-form content and bring in a consistent flow of qualified booked appointments every single month. I've generated millions of views for coaches and consultants in this space that have equated to hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. And today I'm going to be giving you guys the exact same system that I use with people I work with directly for YouTube to help you build a credible channel that turns into an evergreen lead source every single month. Without further ado, let's get right on into it. How to scale your business with YouTube in 2026. I'm going to go through everything in this presentation. I'm going to try and keep this as concise as possible so you guys just get the most value out of this video. So let's get right into it. The first thing we're just going to talk about is the overall YouTube opportunity going on in 2026 right now. Most business owners are sleeping on the highest converting organic channel available, and I just want to show you real quick why that's actually true. So if we take 50 qualified calls in 14 days, it's going to require zero ad spend. You're going to have 24/7 organic lead generation. You're going to have a 20x average ROI per video. And you're probably asking what I mean by ROI per video if you're not actually paying anything to create a video. I'm going to show you that a bit later. So make sure you stick around till the end so you can actually see what I mean and how to calculate your ROI. So let's talk about the trust problem in today's market. So people are scared to get scammed in 2026. When they see an ad, the first thing they're going to do is research you. They're going to maybe go to your VSL for 20 seconds. They're going to click your profile, then go Google search you, check out your content. If they find nothing or low quality content, they're not going to engage you. They're not going to go through your funnel. However, if they find hours of valuable long form content, something entirely different will happen. So I want to show you guys this with YouTube. You are going to have weaker social proof. You're going to have a higher CPA. Your prospects are not going to trust you and they're just going to be more cold. With YouTube, you're going to have authority established before your calls even start, lower CPA, and just overall warmer leads, right? So videos from a year ago will still also generate you calls today. This is the critical part about this is you are building an evergreen organic lead generation funnel that is never going to turn off. And consistent posting will always equal Google rankings, which is just free search traffic. So let's talk into the three-part content system that I'm actually going to be talking about in this video. So your posting schedule is going to be roughly 4 to 8 videos every single month. And 50% of this is going to be action-based top of funnel videos. So you can think step-by-step tutorials that are solving a specific painful problem for your ICP. Then the 30% is the educational middle of funnel reels. This is positioning pieces that will build authority and break false beliefs for your leads. Social proof, that's going to be your bottom of funnel client interviews, case study breakdowns of who you've helped, and overall just showing your experience in the field. So let's talk about top of funnel educational content. A few examples of this, how to come up with YouTube ideas that get clients, how to write a YouTube video script in under 30 minutes, how to use Apollo.io 2026 full tutorial, right? A few of those. These are basically solving a specific problem that your ICP is actively searching for every single day. And this is going to act as the entry point into your funnel. Now, the second one is educational middle of funnel videos. These are your positioning pieces, not so much tutorials. It's where you're educating on industry insights, breaking false beliefs, and actually introducing your unique mythology to your offer. So why YouTube is the best way to get high ticket clients in 2026, why most editors are not what you actually need, the truth about organic versus paid acquisition. So social proof content. Think of this as a client interview on either Google Meet or Zoom, or you breaking down a case study via a slideshow. Now, let's talk about one of the most important aspects to your channel. And if you do not have this, I want you to pull out a pen and paper, pull out your phone, and write a note down to create this. This is a free course video. This is a 45 to 90 minute flagship video that is exactly like what you're watching right now. I'm keeping this one a bit more condensed just so you guys can really absorb the knowledge in this. But it's very important if you are somebody who has a high ticket offer that you make this 40 to 90 minutes, the perceived value is going to go way up. So the CTA at the end will give your viewers 3 options. You can treat this like every other video, not do anything. You can try to do it yourself and fail or fall off because you're just too busy. Or you can work with me and get it done for you, or direct help, one-on-one mentorship. You can obviously tailor your offer a little bit to this, but this is the structure of what the CTA at the end is. It's going to push more urgency to those calls. Let's talk about generating unlimited video ideas. The idea is the most important part of booking calls to YouTube. So here are 4 proven methods you can use for this. So number 1 is borrowing from adjacent channels, right? Find 5 channels in a similar non-competing space. Analyze their most popular videos from the past 6 to 12 months. I actually will say if you can go on the more earlier side of this, I think sub 6, you're probably going to be better. But if you find some really good outliers, you can go a little bit over it. It just depends. Ultimately as well, test what works best for you, right? Maybe try 8 months, see how that works. Maybe try 4 months, see how that works. You need to test what's going to be good for you. So do not copy your direct competitors. A dropshipping coach should look at agency course creators, not other dropshippers. Take the winning format and apply your content to it. Method number 2 is break down your service into steps, right? Take your main offer and break break it down into 8 to 10 distinct steps, right? So each step then becomes a video, and every video now becomes a content bucket that you can split further, right? So if like you're taking me, for example, like what's done for your YouTube, we have ideation, scripting, recording, editing, thumbnails, SEO, posting. Each one of those is now a standalone video. It can be split again, right? How to script a viral YouTube video becomes how to script using AI, how to script using the hook, body, outro framework. These formats have been tested across hundreds of clients and consistently generate calls, right? So here's a few of them. I'm just running it through: how to result in 2026, how to get $1 million drop shipping, how to use Tool full tutorial, how to use Apollo.io in 2026 full tutorial. Stop doing X, do this instead. Stop doing Facebook ads, do this instead to make $1 million. Niche has changed in 2026. Here's everything you need to know. Facebook ads have changed in 2026, right? You guys get the point here. Educational is thing a scam, is dropshipping a scam, how client went from A to B, right? So how John went from 54K a month to 430K a month. Method number 4, mine what you already have, right? So 5 people ask you the same question, 10,000 people have it, turn it into a video. Run them through AI, find objections that come up, through your sales calls, and address these in your videos. Every single client transformation should be a social proof video as well. That's a massive one there too, is make sure that anytime you get a good client result, that somehow gets incorporated in a video. So what you guys to think about scripting, I always give this analogy to people that I do consulting for and the actual direct clients that I work with one-on-one to do YouTube for. You need to think of YouTube as a sandwich, right? So there's 3 parts to it. And the secret is trimming every single piece of fat out of that sandwich. And it's funny because it's like less is always more with this, right? So the only job of the hook is to keep people watching. The only part of the body is to show the value that you have. And the only part of the outro is to push them over the edge. Then we go into that. We're going to keep it as lean as possible, right? So I think the 4 elements to a good hook is to relatable. So start with their current situation, show the proof immediately of what you've achieved, be specific about what they get, and then give them a dream result without like putting them in too much pain. So here's an example. Like when I started with content agency, I had no experience. I was able to make, in 23 days, I made $6,000. Best part, I did this work in 3 to 4 hours a day, right? Just a typical intro. Body, bullet points only. So don't script this word for word. Split this into 2 to 3 main points, and you can break each point into bullet points. So what this would look like is if we're doing a how to do cold outreach in 2026, right? We have a bullet of describe what bad outreach looks like. And then we have a sub bullet of what are some examples of these DMs. What is the main thing that makes this a bad DM, right? So if you have a script writer working under you, you can have them script your videos in that format. Or if you're doing it yourself or using a Claude agent, you can simply put this in saying, hey, split it into 2 to 3 main points, break me each main point into sub bullets to tell me what to talk about. The reason you don't want to do word for word scripts, and I'm very, very, very adamant about this, is because you need your authentic self on camera. And you are going to read a prompt and give your own version of it a lot more authentically than if you are to try and script that exact thing word for word. Also, you should not be hindering your actual knowledge, right? It is so critical that on YouTube, you show who you are. There's a million people talking about what you're talking about. So your personality is what's going to set you apart. There are so many people posting just complete VSL style, like reading off a teleprompter on YouTube. Be authentic, be a little different. Mid-video CTA. So this is super simple, 1 sentence. Before I continue, if you want my help implementing this exact system, hit the first link in the description. And now, finally, let's talk about the outro. So people who watch to the end are the people that are going to be most likely to buy. So you really want to make this count. This is super important. You need to have a transition sentence that bridges the body to the outro. So for example, this is how I went from absolute zero to making my first $7,000, $6,000 in 23 days. Now, if you have 2 options, you can either take everything I showed you and try to figure it out yourself, or you can click the first link in the description and apply to get this fully done for you and helped out with it, right? Your call, let me know, right? That's a very good, solid, condensed outro. All we want, again, is a full recap. Here is a transition sentence that bridges the body to the outro, and then a clear, direct CTA with no ambiguity. Now, let's talk thumbnails and SEO. So your thumbnail and title are 90% of the battle. I can tell you guys firsthand, I've had clients where we've literally posted a raw video of just cutting the beginning and cutting the end of the video and having a good thumbnail and good SEO and a good title, and that video did great without any editing. So I can genuinely tell you that your face on a thumbnail should take up like 30% of the frame. Show actual emotion too. Don't just have it be like a boring, like, just like dead face looking expression, right? Because humans connect with faces, it's going to build trust and it's going to build recognition. Short, punchy text will also create curiosity. So you can let the title do the heavy lifting here, but it's going to help a lot. Remember, thumbnails are glanced at. They're not read. So if you have a lot of text on a thumbnail, it's not actually going to get read. Use platform or software, like use big tools, so like very familiar logos, right? YouTube, Stripe, maybe Apollo, maybe WAP, like some big logos that people recognize are super important, right? Also, dark colors in thumbnails, you really want to avoid. This is a big one. A lot of users are on YouTube dark mode. So if you have light stuff, it'll stand out from the background. And also if you're using the light mode of YouTube as well, dark colors are just going to blend in more, actually, believe it or not, because of the font being dark. So you always want to have light, right? Dark thumbnails will always disappear no matter what. So SEO is creating an evergreen channel. So YouTube will always look at your transcript, and the right keyword strategy will compound over time, and it will turn your channel into a lead machine that runs without you. So you want to target like search-based keywords over pure viral content. So evergreen content will generate you leads months and months after posting, because you guys remember Google owns YouTube, right? So if you rank on YouTube, you rank on Google. So that's a very important thing to know. Search traffic will always be the highest intent traffic. So people who type in like that keyword are going to look for what you offer. So for example, like how to get into tech in the US, right? If that's like the topic, you know, you're going to have 20 to 50K monthly searches. This person ranked #1, right? Now let's talk about why organic supercharges everything you are already doing. So if you're already running paid ads or another channel that's working, organic YouTube will not replace it. It's just going to multiply. So here's what I want you guys to understand is the ROAS on this. So you're, first of all, more benefits of this. Your lower CPA, organic is going to pre-sell people before the call. They're going to watch hours of content, which is going to give you way more authority. And if you have a backup channel, it can be sort of like an offset ad for ad building. It will also be always compounding because value grows over time. Let's talk about the ROI math. So I want you guys to just imagine, and I'm obviously speaking, a lot of you guys are going to be watching this at different stages of business. I want you to imagine someone asking you for a paid one-on-one call, what you would charge them, right? There's a lot of people that would say $500, okay? And that being for 30 minutes, right? So that would mean your time is valued at $1,000 an hour. And I think that, you know, for a lot of people in the $30,000 to $100,000 a month mark, $1,000 an hour is pretty fair for everybody. Obviously speaking, there's going to be people in here that say their time is worth $30,000 an hour, and that's amazing. There's going to be people in here that might actually feel that their time is worth a little bit less than that at their current stage of that. I'm using this as a baseline to give you guys the math. So when you see this number here, I want you guys to genuinely sit and think about this, and whatever number you come up with, amazing. But think about what your time is valued at. I just needed a placeholder for this video, which is why I'm using $1,000. So if we take 30 minutes to record, your time is valued at $1,000 an hour. We have $500 per video, right? Plus production costs for editing, thumbnail, SEO, right? Whatever. One video is going to equal one new client. So your client lifetime value is now 5 figures. Okay. So you now theoretically have an effective 20x return on ad spend, even though you don't have ad spend. Try getting a 20x ROAS on paid ads consistently. You're not going to. So your ads will crush one week and then underperform next week. Your CPMs will spike in Q4. Like algorithm changes happen. YouTube will always be a consistent source. I just want you guys to think about that. Okay. That is the entire system on scaling your business directly through YouTube in 2026. So now that you have the full in-depth system on exactly how I book qualified appointments on coaches and consultants calendars every single month through YouTube content, you guys can go take this, put it directly in your business, and actually build this lead generation system for yourself. But if you want it fully handled for you, where all you need to do is sit down and record for an hour every single week and have all your videos scripted, edited, ideated, and posted for you, just click the link below and schedule a free call. We can run through your entire situation. I can show you guys exactly how it would work for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe for more of these, and I will see you guys in the next video.